Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Meg. Airy Fairy's here. Just have to turn this down a little bit. Goodness gracious. Blaren. Good morning, Helen. Right, so this morning we're going to do these two little leaves just right here. So I've chosen the same colors from this one, except for the light color. So I just chose the darker green and then this kind of yellowy green that I did every other one for the satin stitch. So we're going to do one color to fill it in with satin stitch again. Sorry, it's the last day of satin stitch. Ooh, Helen says she's 2 days behind and there's a new puppy coming on Friday. Oh my gosh, you have to send photos. I love puppies. Just any kind of dog, really. We gave Jessie a new bone this morning, and she likes to play hide and seek with her bones, so I'll go hide it like in the couch cushions or something, and then she'll go and like sniff it out like all over the place, and when she finds it, then she goes and hides it. But she always hides it in like really stupid places, so she'll like go upstairs and like hide it on our bed, like just right in the middle of the bed, and I'll be like, oh, where is it? And she'll be like, oh, go find it. I know, it's really silly, but like she genuinely does it. She's like really excited to do it, and then I'll like go hide it again. But the things we do for our dogs, huh? So yeah, this is just like before. I'm going to use all 6 strands. So these are just little satin stitches all the way through. Just like before, I'll do one complete leaf, and then you can get started so you don't have to wait until I do the satin stitch on both leaves, because it does take a little bit of time. I'm using all 6 strands in this kind of yellowy green color that I used before. So let's get started. What kind of puppy are you getting, Helen? Why did I make those so far apart? The good thing is that you can always go back and stick another one in there, another stitch if you need to. We will be outlining this if you want to. So if you do want to, then make sure that you keep the edge nice and neat. I mean, if you don't want to outline it, make sure the edges are nice and neat. If you do want to outline it, then you have a little bit more leeway. We'll also be adding these little things here. Veins down the middle. Helen says it's a cross between a Patterdale Terrier and a Jack Russell. A Patterjack. Oh my God, I bet it's adorable. I love dogs and like puppies, like anything so much. If I could, I would get all of them. I would adopt them all. Last night I added the last night I added the pattern for the Merry and Bright kit because I had about 10 messages saying, please add the pattern, please add the pattern. So finally I added the pattern. So if you didn't get the kit yet, but you do want the pattern, then it's up in the shop. Helen says, I have a chug already. Was that like a pug and something else? Like a chihuahua and a pug, maybe? And yesterday, I sent out 22 orders, and then the day before, I sent out about 14. So if you're waiting for an order or your kit, then it is coming, because I've sent out all of them, except for the, I have 2 stocking tags orders to write, and then I have some hoops to make. But other than that, I'm all caught up. Like such a good feeling when you get everything out. Almost everything out, like I said. Yes, Mike put the little like party hat celebration emoji. Mm-hmm. And here's the big long commercial. Hi, George. I'm just waiting until I can go and skip it. YouTube is getting cheeky with these ads. They're not just like regular ad length. They're like television ad length. Like I can't be listening to 4 minutes of commercials. Come on. Get it together. That commercial was about being a Shenyun dancer. So if you wanted to do that, you'll know what it takes. Good morning, Carrie. Actually, I think Carrie's in Australia, so good evening, Carrie. Right, so we're gonna do all 6 strands, satin stitch on each side. I chose 6 because we have 3 here and then 3 here. And I thought maybe it would be nice to have something a bit more chunky. My mom says, your new profession, I could be a Shenyun dancer. That's like a ballet, like a Chinese ballet dancer. I think I'm going to pass on that. I think I'm going to stick to embroidery. Just be careful around these edges of this leaf because we made a nice little outline there and you don't really want to mess it up. She says, but you're so good at it. Have you been drinking this morning? Going and getting boozed before school? Okay. I'm just filling in these little gaps here, even though I think that the middle thread will fill it in. I just want to be sure that there's no white. Robin says, I need it just to survive. Oh dear. Come on, get out of there. Okay, so we have that done. I'm just going to flip her over, do a little knot, and then I'm going to take the other color, but this time, Mom says, send wine quick, and then she wrote wine, just wine. You all right, hon? So we're going to take the other color that we have, and I chose like a dark green, and 3 strands. I'm going to do a back stitch around the outside, and then the fly stitch in the middle. And I know that we talked about the fly stitch before. And we used it for the little stick ones. Do you remember? These ones? Goodness gracious. Those knots didn't work out like I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to do just a back stitch around the outside. Again, you don't have to if you don't want to. You could even do a stem stitch like this one if you wanted it to look a bit twisted. But I just want like a dark outline. Nothing exciting about the backstitch. Sorry, guys. And then we'll go from the top here and do the fly stitch down. So you can choose how far up that you want the first stitch to be. In the drawing here, I don't have it going all the way to the top. I just have it kind of in the middle. But if you want to make it go all the way from the top, all the way down to the bottom, you totally could do that. It just depends on, does that help at all? It just depends on what you want. So I'm going to do it all the way to the top because these stitches don't look very nice. So go straight down like that. I might do one more. Come on. Okay, so I've got 2 there. And remember the fly stitch, we come up on one side. And the first one's gonna be smaller because the area on each side is smaller. So have a think about that. You really don't wanna have, okay. You don't want to have a big one. And then down on the other side. Remember, it's still in the middle. I'm not going all the way to the edge. Then come up here. And then you're going to go down. Yeah. And then we do another one. Just looking at this, I feel like I should have chosen a darker color for the middle because I can already tell you can't really see it so well. So have a think about that when you're choosing your colors. Might do one more just straight stitch here to go down to the bottom. So there we go. So I'll zoom out. That's what she looks like. But I wanted to do the same colors because I've done them over here. So I wanted to kind of not add a whole new color for just these two leaves. So it would be a bit balanced, if you know what I mean. However, I'm not sure I'm loving that color. I feel like I should have picked one a bit darker. Because if you look at them next to each other, they look like they would be a bit brighter. But you live and you learn, don't you? So we'll go back and do the other one. Good morning. Just a couple tips that I've been forgetting to tell is to remember to keep your fabric tight. So you do not want to see sagging bits of fabric. Any kind of loose fabric at all, you don't want to see it. Tighten it up. Not only is it like just an international eyesore, if you know what I mean, but oh, Helen, that's okay. She says, I made a mistake and I did these the same as the ones as the top. That's okay. You can do them the same if you want. I just thought I'd show a different way to do leaves. That's all. So actually, they probably would look good as the same ones as the top anyways. So go on. Do your thing. But what I was saying was, it is an eyesore, however, the saggy fabric, but it's going to give you a lot of trouble when you're stitching. So as you're stitching, the fabric is going to pull and pinch and move around, and that's the whole point of using these hoops, is to keep your fabric tight so it's easy for you to work on it. So yeah, make sure it's nice and tight. And if you have a gap in your hoop, I did have one. Oh, here it is. Here's a small hoop. So do you see how they don't go together right here? Like that, and it's actually the outside hoop right here that's got a hump in it, so no matter how tight I make it, there's always going to be a little hump there because there's a hump on the outer hoop. You can take some tape and wrap it around just this little space right here. And I know I've shown that before in other stitch-alongs, but it really will help to keep the fabric nice and tight. Where did you get your holder from? I got this at a charity shop for £5, so I'm not the right person to ask. I know that Hobbycraft have some. I know Amazon has some. If you're in the States, then you should look at like Michael's or Joann Fabrics. They might have one, or even Hobby Lobby, although don't really like Hobby Lobby. So that's up to you, how you feel like. I will show it because someone's asked. Yeah, Amazon has them too. This is a lap stand, so you're meant to sit on this part, put it underneath like your thigh, sit on it, and then these parts move around so that you can use it. Well, you do have some of them. She says, I'm in the UK, so I don't have any of those shops. Hobbycraft is in the UK, and I've seen them at Hobbycraft. And you can look on Amazon. And apparently they have them on Amazon. And we have loads of charity shops here, so definitely look in the charity shops if you have any in town. Meg says, you are seriously keeping me sane this morning as I'm wrapping presents. And then Helen says, Meg, you are so organized. She is organized. Like, seriously. But I guess if you have kids, when the kids are in school, then that's like a prime time to go, like, get all the presents out, isn't it? And like wrap them. Personalized by I says, oops, didn't know, but we'll look at Amazon. I know Helen is from Scotland. Yes? I think. Oh, I always get this wrong. I'm so sorry, Helen. But she got hers from Amazon. Or she says that Amazon has this one. You can also look at places like Cloudcraft. I think that's in the UK. So try that one too. I'm also in the UK, so you can look at other haberdashery shops that are around you. So I know that close to me has like a little outdoor shopping village type thing. And they have like buttons and beads and like findings and like all kinds of random stuff in there. So you can always check like one of those places. In the charity shop that I went to, he had a ton of these, but 2 of them were missing parts. And then he had like 2 floor stands. And I kind of wish I would have gotten one, but he wasn't sure if he had all the parts for that one either. And I've gone back since, and he said that he chucked them. And I was like, well, that's not ideal, is it? Probably noticed I've been doing like one side and then the other. I want to see if that makes it look different or not. Meg says she is not normally organized, but this year on it. Probably because she's packing and moving house and stuff. So I have a whole prep video that shows how to transfer the patterns onto the fabric. Someone's just commented, how do you transfer the pattern onto the fabric? So go onto YouTube and search for the Barmy Fox, and then under the one that says Holiday Stitch Along Prep, I show about 3 different ways or 4 different ways how to do it. You're welcome. It's just easier to tell you to watch the video than to explain all of them again because they're already explained. So then you can go back and watch them again or read the subtitles or whatever, you know? So I'm trying this method, and let me tell you, I don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't like it. Helen says, I love my light box for transferring the pattern. Yeah, so most of the time, because I don't want to buy a light box, I just use my iPad. And if you turn the screen up, the brightness up all the way, and turn the lights off in the room, it's basically a light box. So that's what I do for transferring them. Oh no. Someone's asked, how do you stitch the 2-color thread on the word holly? So again, that was day 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe day 5, whip day on the holiday stitch along. So if you go to YouTube and go to the Barmy Fox and do the holiday stitch along, I think it's day 5 or day 4. 4 or 5, and it's called Whip Day, and I show how to do it there. Helen says she got her light box on Amazon too. Isn't Amazon good? And she says, I don't have an iPad. So if you don't have an iPad, a light box is way cheaper. But I have the iPad for making patterns, so for me, it made sense to just use that instead of spend more money. How long would you take to complete one hoop? It depends. If it's really small, then maybe an hour. One like this, well, there's 15 days to the stitch along, and I've been doing about 30 minutes every day to finish this, and I haven't actually finished all of the pieces, so does that help? 15 times 30 minutes. And then plus maybe an hour or 2 to catch up on all these little things that I haven't done yet. Where am I? So yeah, it just depends on how complex the hoop is. Sometimes they take 20 hours, 100 hours. Sometimes they only take 1 or 2. Which stitch is on the lettering? The lettering is day 5 of the stitch along. And it's kind of like a hybrid of 2 stitches. So you kind of have to watch the video to see how to use them. If I zoom in here, you can see I did not fill this all the way. Why'd I leave a gap right there? Ridiculous. I can tell my heating just came on because I just got hot. So we're almost done. After I finish this one, we've just got Thursday and Friday, and then we will be completely finished. Like all done. Like you can hang it on the wall. We're done. On Friday, I will also show, on Friday we'll do French knots. So that's all these little circles here. And then I will also show how to close up the back of your hoop, how I do it. Again, you can do it a lot of different ways. So if you would like to do it differently than the way that I'm showing you, do it. It's up to you. Some people like to close it up with using felt on the back. Some people will use glue. Obviously, because I used to be an art teacher and went to school for art, I'm not a big fan of using glue on the back of your pieces. It just doesn't really stand the test of time, if you know what I mean. So I'm all about stitching up the back. Almost done. And then after this, I'll put this directly onto YouTube so that people can catch up if they need to. I know last weekend I went out and then we ended up going out like the whole weekend. So, ugh. I had people begging me on Sunday, please put the video up from Friday because I don't know what to do. Sorry, guys. Your girl messed up. So there we go. These ones, oops, I'm giving you guys dizziness. There we are. That's what we have so far. It's weird in the middle. I obviously have to catch up with this one, and that one. And then whip this right here, and then we can add these on French Knots Day if you want to add the lines. So we've just got 2 days left. Can you believe it? I cannot wait to see your finished hoops. Make sure that you're tagging me in your stories or in your grid posts so I can repost them. All right, I hope you have a lovely day. Meg, good luck wrapping Christmas presents. Put on a nice movie or something, and maybe that will be better. All right, I will talk with you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.